Morning routines sound fascinating. A time during the day where you can focus on valuable habits, get energized to face what the day throws at you, and overall become a more balanced, productive person. It all sounds great, right? But most of us have a really hard time building a morning routine and keeping it for a long time. If your routine changes a bit, that's enough to throw you off the tracks. If this sounds like you, don't worry, because with the right mindset, you can rebuild your morning routine and go from 0 to hero in 30 days only. But let's start by setting your expectations appropriately. In terms of learning and implementation, the truth is it will probably take you anywhere from 2 months to 8 months to build a new behavior into your life, not 30 days. This is actually backed up by the latest research that tried to analyze whether the whole classic 21 days as the golden rule to build a new habit was correct. And it debunked it. But that's a topic for a whole different video. Although it's really hard to build, implement, and consolidate a new habit in 30 days, at least 30 days will be enough to take the necessary baby steps towards that implementation. So as you take baby steps towards building a new habit, you're making consolidation much easier. And this is particularly true with morning routines. So before we start talking about the healthy habits you should build, let's talk about the bad habits you should eradicate from your lifestyle to make sure you're setting yourself up for success. So bad habit number 1 is something most people do, myself included, and that is sleeping in on the weekends. It's incredibly important that you try to keep the same or at least an approximate sleeping schedule on the weekends. Adopting a different sleep schedule twice per week disrupts your body's natural rhythm, putting your health at risk and overall jeopardizing the hard work you put towards having a balanced morning routine. Bad habit number 2 is isolating your morning routine from your evening routine. A bad evening routine invariably leads to a bad morning routine. So make sure you are introducing a proper unwinding period before you sleep. Turning off any devices, sipping a cup of tea, journaling, or writing down a to-do list are all things you can incorporate into your evening routine to make sure you're properly rested for the following day. Bad habit number 3 is trying to do too much in the morning. Extra ambitious morning routines are the first to fail, and piling up activities in 1 or 2 hours is going to be a recipe for disaster. Simplify your morning routine as much as possible and try to increase the value of each specific activity instead of starting your day rushing from one thing to the other. And speaking of this, starting with baby steps is essential to fix your morning routine. Although it may seem like you're starting slow, you're at least ensuring that each new tiny habit is being reinforced as best as possible. Now that your bad habits are hopefully out of the way, let's start by talking about one of the foundational stones in your morning routine, and that is your waking up hour. So for the purpose of this video only, of course, make a 2-week plan. So start by trying to wake up 15 minutes before your timer and try to do that for 2 days in a row before you set up your clock back 15 minutes again. After you successfully earn the habit of waking up 15 minutes earlier, set back your alarm 15 minutes again and wake up at this time for 2 days. Repeat until reaching the desired waking hour. By using this method, you can start waking up almost 2 hours earlier without making your brain go through a sleep deprivation period. Okay, so if you need some quick, classic extra hacks, here are 3 things you can do to make this process even more efficient. So move your alarm to a different place to avoid hitting snooze. This works wonders for me. I just keep my alarm, my phone, in the bathroom, so when my alarm sounds, I just go to the bathroom, I hop in the shower. Quick and efficient. And if it's still dark when you wake up, try to set up an automatic light to slowly turn on at the same time your phone rings. And as I was saying, after you get out of bed, try to hop in the shower right away, because that will guarantee that you'll feel so much more awake and so much more ready to face the day after a brisk shower in the morning. What you choose to do right after waking up is essential to guarantee you're identifying your morning routine with something enjoyable. So picking a particularly interesting activity or a relaxing one to tackle right after waking up or after you shower will make sure you're establishing that healthy relationship between your routine and the habits you include in that routine. Waking up for a daily meditation session, going for a walk, watching an episode from your favorite series, or even playing video games. These are all great reasons to wake up early in the morning, and they will really make your morning routine that much more enjoyable. And unfortunately, not all morning routines are able to be organized around only enjoyable things, so there's also a correct way to incorporate tasks and chores into your routine as well. So first of all, as you're creating your plan, start by incorporating one task only into your routine for 1 week. So you can pick to make your bed every single morning for 1 week, for instance, and at the end of that week, you may include a second task into your morning routine, such as watering your plants. Repeat for a week again and only increase the number of chores or other less pleasurable tasks on a weekly basis only. Also, the rule is to leave chores and other less interesting bits for the end of your routine, so always start your morning with really interesting activities and tackle the unpleasant ones afterwards. Okay, so at this point, your plan should look like this. Every single week, your goal is to wake up 15 minutes earlier than the previous week. And every single week, you can add a new task to the end of your routine as long as you need to, up to a maximum of 4 daily morning tasks. At this point, you also know that it's fundamental to start your day with 1 or 2 really enjoyable activities. So in practical terms, by the end of 30 days, you can have a morning routine that looks like this. You can wake up at 6:30, shower, have 15 minutes of reading, have breakfast while watching an episode from a favorite show, walk your dog, clean your dishes, make your bed, water your plants, and then get out of the house. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, suggests that you can implement any new habit into a routine by using intention implementation. So basically, planning out when and where you are going to tackle a specific task or a new habit will turn your environment into a trigger for action. So it's the time and place that triggers your behavior and not your level of motivation. So using this concept to rebuild your morning routine will be fundamental. After all, how you order your morning tasks will dictate that process. Creating mechanisms to remember that a certain task or behavior triggers the following task or behavior should be your goal. And of course, there's no recipe for this because there are thousands of tasks and habits you may want to implement, and there are thousands of combinations of different habits and tasks. But all, in our morning routine example, I may leave my book or my iPad at the dining table in the previous evening, so I remember to read before breakfast. I can walk my dog and feed him when I return, then I remember to clean the dishes from breakfast. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you can introduce intention implementation in your routine, but remember that the strategy is to think of your habits as a behavior set at a certain time in a certain location. So for instance, in the morning, one of the habits I'm trying to implement right now is incorporating a 15-minute reading session right before breakfast so I can learn new concepts and new ideas to make more videos for you guys. So imagine a way to learn the content of dozens of books without having to actually read them from top to bottom. There's too many books and so little time, so it's impossible to go through all of them, right? Well, with short form, you can learn the different concepts and ideas from thousands of nonfiction books, from all the books you've ever wanted to read. And if you're thinking, well, I can read 1,000 of book summaries on the internet anywhere, well, this is where it gets really interesting. Instead of just summarizing the books, short form actually goes beyond that, adding interactive exercises to help you apply the ideas you've just learned, as well as smart insights, connecting ideas from different books and different themes, allowing you to connect the dots and understanding everything at a deeper level. Sometimes I find it really hard to find the time to read all the books I want to read, and while I love to cozy up with a good novel, I find it's hard to split my reading time between novels while also reading every self-help book available, and with a full-time job and a YouTube channel to balance, short form really helps me stay updated on new productivity books, which also helps me deliver new ideas and new content for you guys. So anytime I read a guide in short form that I really enjoy, I can then purchase the physical copy to read the whole thing. That way, I already know it's going to be good and I look forward to the full experience. However, I can always go back to short form to at least remember the key points, especially when I'm trying to revisit productivity concepts from a bunch of different titles and I want to know how those concepts interact. For instance, I went through the main topics of the 5 a.m. club using short form, and I was able to use the guide to gather a lot of inspiration to write the script for this video. And short form covers a lot of different genres too. Besides productivity, you can also find books on personal finance, lifestyle, self-improvement, and so much more. Short form also drops new book guides and articles every single week, and subscribers also get to vote on what books to cover. So to get your 5-day free trial, you can go to the link in the description box below to get your account. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't click away right now because you still need to watch the bloopers, and I can guarantee there's a lot of them because I've just finished filming this video. Bye guys! Well, what is this? And try to do this. Try to do that. So you can pick to make your bed every single morning for 1 week for 1 week for instance. I don't know how to talk. Okay, so move your alarm to appropriately with something. Pare down. It's not pare down. Tone down your more. Pare down. Tone down. Simplify.